We don't have any more Defiant games to break down until this weekend where we face off against the Vancouver Titans, so for now, enjoy this week's episode of the Fan Edition. Submitted by Smiley Cat from the Toronto Defiant Community Cup for Pride. Let's watch some Platinum 2600 SR support gameplay. So first, I'm actually not a fan of this spot on Ana because you can get forced back down these stairs quite easily with some sort of damage threat, making you lose line of sight of your team for a few seconds if you round the back corner. This area that you're playing in is a bit more reserved for your DPS heroes like McCree, Hanzo. As this plays out, you got forced back by D.Va and had to walk across the open line of sight. Luckily you didn't die, but it's definitely dangerous and punished harder at higher ratings. Let's switch it back to first person here. You shoot the ball a little bit, they know where you are, and there you go, walking across the open, but that's all right. Now you're gonna take a few steps back here, and I would play on these stairs for the most part. Dropping here is fine, but I would immediately hop back up the stairs instead of playing on low ground until they round the corner a bit more. Because your shield tank is still playing up top, your Sigma, playing down here is it's okay, but probably a bit too early to drop. As your Sigma meets them on the payload, I'd probably hug the left or the right side a little bit more, preferably on the left. Looking for a nade there, that was pretty solid. And that D.Va's discorded, so you're pressuring it. Now that Orisa shield's up, you're good. Good heal on the Zen. Yeah, now you got vision of everybody from your Widowmaker. Okay, so I'm actually not the biggest fan of hovering to the right. So what tends to happen here is if you play here on the right side with the Zenyatta, your Widow's right there, you kind of split the team off into two sections because the natural instinct for a tank when being pressured is that they'll gravitate towards hovering here on the left. If Sigma backs off to the left on this side, you guys are immediately going to be caught out. So unless he specifically communicated that he's going to be moving to the right, if he's going to have to defensively move back for a bit, then it could work out, but you're already down one. Very likely he's going to back up to the left here, and this isn't going to be looking good. So again, I would probably suggest playing here or playing up on the stairs here, like I said earlier. Playing on the right side as supports isn't usually suggested, like I said, and then you get slammed by the Echo duplicate. Not much you can do here. You guys were down one earlier, you're probably gonna have to concede this fight, so let's go to the next one. Alright, so after giving up the first point, you're gonna play on the high ground here. This is fine. I like how you're pumping the heals non-stop into the team. There's always a little bit of delay with the Ana projectiles, and the healing from Ana is a little bit of a heal over time. So I like your APM, good actions per minute right now. Good constant heals, good constant pressure. The enemy team is probably going to engage off of that res here. You see your Sigma's low, you pump some heals. There comes a D.Va bomb. Your Sigma's moving down to the ground and moving to the right. So you want to rotate with them. This is good. The enemy team used Baptiste ult. You have to respond with an ultimate right now. See who that Echo's focusing? You needed to nano that McCree right there so he wouldn't die. Whenever an enemy uses an ultimate like the BAP window or the Echo's engaging, you have to counter ult or else you're just going to lose the fight. So your Sigma's ulting, your Zen ulted, but you should have nanoed your McCree there to prevent a death because Echo does a lot more damage. When, you know, teammates are at half health or less, the beam does 4 times more than execute, right? So you nanoing that McCree there would probably have saved his life, made him extra tanky, and then turned the tables on the Echo. So you just kind of defensively kite for a bit. Your tanks are still alive, so this is good. Good nano actually here. I mean, just salvaging. The best nano would have been earlier on the McCree. The next best nano was right there. That was good. Your ball's actually putting his ultimate down and stalling quite well. I'd probably move back to the top left here. Yeah, right here on the stairs. You can just play here on the stairs. You don't need to drop down. So no need to drop down there. Just keep playing there. Good EMP by your Sombra. Good nade here as well. So everything you're doing right now could be accomplished by playing on the stairs right now on the left. And then it seems like you turn the tables. You can actually move up the stairs. You have a hacked health pack from where the Sombra grabbed for you. So you can actually play a little bit more aggressively here and do a little bit of offensive DPS. Right, do you see where the enemies are right there? You could be scoping in, using that health pack to keep you healthy. You can pressure that Echo, so that Echo doesn't get to shoot like, what, 6 shots like that, plus the sticky bombs. I know you're playing a support hero, but I think the aspect a lot of people miss is that you can do damage. And Ana does 70 damage with no fall off, and she's a sniper, right? There's a lot more pressure you can apply as a support hero than you'd think. I can see your ball in the back getting focused down by somebody. It looks like the Echo finished him off, and the enemy Baptiste uses ultimate, and then your Zen gets killed through the Hanzo Storm arrows. So you're going to have to concede this fight, so I don't agree with that nano boost there. It's also tough to sleep dart a Orisa Obviously it got eaten by the Diva's Matrix, but she can fortify at any time as well. And I can't recall if I saw it earlier or not, but the biggest thing there was not nanoing there. Just concede the fight. It's all good. So as you guys give up the second point, you see your little McCree low there. He doesn't grab the Mega, so you're going to have to heal him as you move down. You should probably get out of the way here, but maybe shoot the enemy as you go back. The enemy is committing onto some abilities, so you have to run and hide, throw a nade down to keep yourself up and healthy. Here comes the enemy. I actually think the biggest thing to take away from your Ana gameplay is that you're very defensive oriented, which isn't a bad thing per se, but there's just a huge opportunity missed with the offensive punch that Ana can give, right? I can't see the stats, so I don't know how much, you know, damage output you'd have, but like right now you have no choice but to be defensive because the enemy is pushing down. But like you see the tendency here, your teammates are pretty full here, maybe not completely full, but I would like get a little bit more aggressive, peek right now and shoot 2 or 3 times into the enemies. You're gonna build your nano boost a little bit faster, and you're gonna pressure them and make them think twice about all their actions here. So your ball's engaging, you're trying to go for a combo nade. That's actually really good. So right here, yeah, do a little bit of offensive DPS. Perfect, good. 3 shots right there, that's good. There is a shield in the way, and instead of moving towards the center of the map here, you should be staying behind cover and utilizing Ana's strengths in being a sniper. So another thing to kind of that I've noticed through your gameplay is you tend to move towards the targets that you're shooting instead of utilizing the cover. And I'm sure I'll find another example coming up soon. It's actually a really easy error or mistake to correct right away. So let me see if I can point it out here. So because your team is a little bit aggressive, you can move a little bit more to the left. So like healing up the Zen is fine. You're moving towards the Zen to heal, like not so much there. But you see the Widow's a bit low, good. All right, and now that the enemy team is wrapping around the corner, so you should be backing up with a bit of cover, right? Now you're standing kind of in the open. Yeah, good, so use this piece of cover to the right side. Now you see your Zen is low, and you have a tendency to kind of move forward right now. Do you see? Now you kind of look at your right side. It's exposed. Here, let's switch angles really quick. You had cover like this. You see the enemy Zen is low, but you scope in with this entire side exposed healing. All you have to do is take a few steps back. You can heal the Zen here, then you can jiggle peek this and use this entire block, this entire column to block a ton of the poke damage you normally receive. So it looks like you back off here and use it nicely. But now you're moving and exposing yourself. You go for the nano boost, but now you're walking forward because again, you have the tendency to move towards the action. Good aggressive nade there. I like that. You are using this payload as sort of cover, but they used a bunch of ultimates like the Orisa Bongo and like the window. So using this cover isn't great because you're gonna have to jiggle peek to expose and heal anyways. I can shoot your feetsies. Playing here and jiggling on this angle would have been the better option. Here's that first person angle. You know, they have that Orisa Bongo going. You got that nade off, which is nice. You try to shoot this, but you see how that Orisa just lasered you down. Just too much upfront damage coming here. So that angle, not my favorite. So the enemy finished capturing. Now you're on the offense, and we're switching gears for a Mercy. Looks like you're pocketing the Widow here, which is fine to start, but contrary to popular belief, you shouldn't really be sitting there with damage boost on a Widow. She doesn't really need it because she can kill quite precisely with the headshot anyways. You're there to res her if anything happens, but giving the damage boost to McCree for some more consistent DPS is a lot more optimal, so it's good. You kind of left the Widow to do her own thing. You'll res her if needed, and you have a backup flight path to Guardian Angel to her if needed. This is good. You're kind of moving towards cover. I like that. Stand behind cover here, right? No need to expose. Your Ryan's going in. You should be healing him up right now, damage boosting whenever he swings. Good. The only thing I can point out so far is as you're beaming, you could be going behind cover as soon as you attach a beam onto somebody because there's that little grace period. Good res here. I like how you backed up behind cover. You could have actually backed up maybe a step more, just a hair more. It didn't really matter there, but the range on a res is surprisingly very large as long as you triggered it. Actually, great Valkyrie there to dodge the Hanzo Dragon. I'd pull out your pistol right now. You guys are up. You're up. What is it? Like, oh, she ended up killing you. You guys are up almost 5 people. I think you guys had a clean fight right there. Ash was one of the last people left. That's where I would argue that you could definitely go battle Mercy and force her to not kill you or not allow her to kill you. If she kills a teammate, you can res them, and then you assert your dominance as a Mercy. But it's all good. So far, so good on the Mercy. Your Sombra gets a nice pick onto the Zen into the distance. There's not much to damage boost on Reinhardt unless he's specifically fire striking. So again, I'd probably prioritize keeping the damage boost onto your Zen or your Kree, so they can actually make use of the damage boost. Since your entire team is playing low, you kind of have no choice but to play low here. You want to go for this res, but you want to go way behind cover. So you actually end up getting hacked, but you caught the res off just in time. So when you start that res, you can actually go behind. You don't need direct line of sight anymore as long as you started it. Did that EMP go off? Oh, it did. Okay, it just bugged out on the replay. So actually, you guys are kind of just snowballing and you just have momentum because the enemy team is staggering. I saw your Sombra kill the Zen early on, and I think the enemy team engaged 5v6. So you guys are just killing them one by one. Not much to say here. Good round so far. You know, clean. Haven't really lost a fight yet. Now, if we skip ahead, the enemy team doesn't actually re-engage you until you're all the way here on this side. Your team is engaging. You should probably pop your Valkyrie right here. You got a kill. You get 2 kills. Your D.Va remix and gets a kill. Your McCree is popping his... Okay, pop Valkyrie right now, at least. Oh, no. Okay, so I know you're up 2 and you don't want to quote-unquote waste ultimates, but their D.Va ended up returning 2 kills after you got 2. If you Valked, you could have had the Valkyrie movement to dodge, and despite the D.Va bomb killing another one of your teammates, at least you lived and you would have been able to get the res off and still neutralize that advantage they took back. So actually, I think you're going to end up losing this now because the enemy team's going to respawn and you guys have a bit of a longer one. So right there was a huge game changer right there. If you had used your ultimate, it would have made a huge difference. So that's unfortunate. You got caught by the end of the high noon, the tail end of the high noon there. But yeah, the biggest thing there was Valking when you saw the D.Va bomb. Just make sure you don't die. Your life as a Mercy is more valuable than your teammates because you can res them, but they can't res you. So their Sombra's killing your Zen now. I love how both teams are running Sombras and going after the Zens. Get a little reset here. Wait for everybody to come back up. Mechanics wise, like, this is fine for Mercy. I think the biggest thing was just that the couple of decisions, big critical moments to decide whether to use your ultimate or not. I've always said this in Overwatch, it's better to use it than to like min-max and try to like save and optimize your ultimates. It might seem like you're piling too many at once, but it's better to do that and learn from that experience than to not use it at all. So you don't need to actually move forward with each sort of... as long as your beam is attached, you don't need to keep GAing or Guardian Angeling forward. You guys are popping a bunch of ultimates. You should be pocketing that McCree right there as he was popping High Noon. Damage boost to make sure he builds the skulls faster, and then switch to Healing Beam when he gets focused down like that by their D.Va so he doesn't die. Everybody's engaging. Heal that D.Va. Make sure she gets that off. Perfect. Still a pretty clean fight nonetheless. Alright, so good. I like how you're damage boosting the Kree. Switching it over maybe when the Rhine's swinging, but for the most part, your McCree is going to be your game winner. They got a huge EMP, and your D.Va actually had a heads-up eat and ran after the McCree. So great team play so far. Good Valkyrie there. I think you guys are just going to snowball and win this. Not much to say here. Good flight here. Get a good res. Mercy gameplay, pretty clean. So now we're down to the 3-3 overtime push. The enemy team only has about a minute. I'd be damage boosting this Ashe to make sure she gets the damage boosted Dynamite. Less so on the Reinhardt here. Turn around and focus on healing the Ashe, making sure the Ashe gets big damage, get that fast Bob, or the McCree if he has a good angle. I like how you're moving as a unit here. This is good. Unfortunately, she dies, but you can get a clean res here, no problem. That's all right. That's why Ashe Mercy is awesome. All right, so she's going on a great off angle here. Remember how in the beginning I said this area, that area that you originally played in as Ana is more reserved for the DPS heroes? There's a perfect example. I can see on the kill feed your Ashe just killed 2 because she went on a great side flank there. And almost killed pretty much 3 of them. This is so far, there's not much to say here. You might have been able to follow the Ashe a little bit and damage boost her when she originally went for that, but she did a good job and killed 3 on her own anyways. Not much to say here. Good round. Back on Mercy for the final attack. Get that damage boost on that Kree or one of your snipers here. Oh, so their enemy team is actually holding close. So what you want to do is... okay. Your Reinhardt went for the... an interesting charge there. That's okay. Regroup. No worries. I like how you didn't go for a little panic res there because you didn't need to because you guys are all going to respawn here anyways. so you didn't waste a 30-second cooldown. Good. Damage boost the Ashe. Watch her get that dynamite off. Yeah, not much you can do as a Mercy here except damage boost. It has to be kind of like a team decision and team rotation here. You're not really going to get into too much trouble because it doesn't seem like they have too many sort of mobile flankers that can go after you. So I like your high ground here. So they do have a window there. If I were the enemy Baptiste, I probably would have shot you, but luckily you didn't get shot. It's a little risky when you saw that window. I probably would have like flew back towards the Ashe to hide at a line of sight from them, but fortunately you were not punished for it. And it looks like your team's just going to barrel through them. Ashe built a really fast Bob. Grizzly kind of popping off here. Okay, so now that there's downtime, move towards where your Ashe is. Go to where your Ashe is. I like her aggressive positioning. Go with her. Keep that damage boost up. You see how she's scoped in? You always gotta be looking for things to do in the downtime between fights. So Ashe is shooting 2 shots right there that could have been boosted. And now she just got jumped on by the D.Va. She coach gunned out. So the focus should have been with the Ashe there. Top left. But, oh, just big grab, big shatter. I think you guys are just gonna overwhelm them with ultimates. So a little bit of a mistake there in terms of not taking advantage of the downtime. Well, I wouldn't really say a mistake, but another sort of missed opportunity. Right? Not grave errors that costed you the game, but just missed opportunities to make the game fall harder into your favor. And that's what a player should be looking out for. Not necessarily the mistakes, but missed opportunities to get a little bit better. So overall, I liked your Mercy gameplay. I think the Ana positioning and things that I mentioned earlier could use some work, but good games overall, and thank you for submitting. And that's it for this week. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and watch the other episodes of the series down here.